We would not recognize the Earth immediately after its formation. It was an extremely uncomfortable planet. There were neither continents or oceans, but a bubbling surface of red-hot, viscous magma. Why couldn't the Earth's crust form for a long time? Billion years ago, comets, asteroids, gas and dust condensed to form our planet. Their own gravity pressed these individual parts together so that they were exposed to strong pressure. Of course, this pressure was highest in the Earth's core, on which the weight of the entire outer layers rested. As a result of the high pressure, the rock was heated and melted. Towards the outside, the pressure and therefore the temperature decreased. Nevertheless, the Earth's surface remained very hot for several 100 million years and was unable to cool and solidify. At the beginning, 4.5 billion years ago, the Earth was completely uninhabitable. It was formed as a hot ball of glowing molten rock, surrounded by hot, corrosive and poisonous gases. That sounds like a description of hell, and the name of this period comes from the Greek word Hades for hell, Hadean. It ended about 4 billion years ago with the first major change. The Earth had cooled down so much that the surface became solid. The Earth got a crust. The Earth continued to cool, allowing liquid water to collect on the crust. Oceans were formed, and life began in these oceans around 3.8 billion years ago, initially only in the form of the simplest bacteria. The Greek word for origin or beginning is in the name of this period, Archean. An important climate change around 2.5 billion years ago marked the transition to the next epoch. The primitive creatures began to influence the environment. They produced oxygen, which had previously been almost non-existent in the atmosphere. The Proterozoic ended 550 million years ago, with an explosion of life. Within a short period of time, an enormous variety of species developed from primitive life forms. These species were much more complex in structure, and some even had hard shells, which were preserved for the first time as fossils. Therefore, the history of life only really became visible to scientists from this point onwards. And this era is also named after the Greek word for visible, Phanerozoic. This age of life has lasted for 550 million years to the present day. However, the development of life has not been uniform. After the explosive spread of life, there were two devastating mass extinctions. These mark further important turning points in the history of the Earth. The oldest era, the Phanerozoic, began 550 million years ago with the mass emergence of new species. It is called the Paleozoic. At first, life only took place in the oceans. Then plants colonized the land, and later the animal world followed suit. First, the amphibians developed, which could already venture a little on land, and finally reptiles, which became independent of water and conquered the land. The Paleozoic ended around 251 million years ago with the greatest mass extinction of all time. Over 90% of all animal and plant species died out, especially in the seas. The reason has not yet been fully clarified. Scientists suspect that an ice age was to blame, possibly as a result of a meteorite impact. When the surviving animal and plant species had to get used to their new environment, the Mesozoic began. It is above all the age of the dinosaurs. Giant lizards evolved and dominated life for almost 200 million years. But the Mesozoic also ended with a dramatic event. If you are interested in further adventures, follow this channel and don't miss any new documentaries about our planet. Together we discover exciting facts about life. Thank you for watching, and never stop to be curious.